Okay. Hey, I'm so excited about today's Bible story. I'm pumped because it's one of the stories we all need to hear. Not just kids, but hey, moms and dads. Kids like Sam and Mr. Eddie. We both need to hear this lesson that we're going to hear today. So I got a friend of mine to come out and help me, a really cool guy. Let's give a round of applause for Cooper from Upstreet. Where's Cooper at? Cooper, come on out here. Cooper said he would help us with the story today. Give him a round of applause. All right.
This should be pretty cool.
Okay, well, this is cool. So here's what I got. I got all this right here, and here's what I need you to do. Your part of the story, I want you to take all this backstage, put the costume on, and when you get the costume on, come back out, bring this and bring the stuff in the bottom out as well, okay?
Costume. I'm not so sure about this, but I said I would help.
Okay, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. This is a great costume. Okay, all right. Just gonna go put the costume on. That's awesome. Well, today's story is about this. It's about how to take a heart that's hurting and heal the heart. Sam, we're going to talk about a heart that's been hurting and how we can heal the heart that's hurting. So, the story goes back to a guy named Peter. And if you're in the 4th or 5th grade class, or even you probably heard in your story today about Peter. Peter was a guy who had a nickname. You know what? I have a nickname. I'm going to tell you what my nickname is, but no one calls me this anymore. It came from when I used to teach school, so I'm a little embarrassed about it. But it's called, nickname is Stinky. See, what happened was, one time I put on too much smelly stuff. I had shaved, and I put on this stuff that, I thought would make all the girls go, oh. So I was smelling good. Oh yeah, I was smelling all right. So I go down, I'm in a meeting, and I'm sitting there at the table, and the guy in charge, he's walking around and he stops right by me. He said, Mr. Plemmons, from now on, your name is Stinky. And so everybody started calling me Stinky. The students didn't, but all the teachers called me Stinky. Because I got that name because I smelled so loud. And it wasn't because it was bad smell, I just put too much stuff on. So how many here, don't tell us what it is, but how many of you have a nickname? Someone's called you a nickname. It's not your real name, but it's hands down. Here's another secret. And don't anybody say it out loud if you know. But my real name is not Eddie. My real name is not Mr. Eddie. But see, when I was in kindergarten, my name and another kid's name was the same. And so what they did was, I came home because the girl was making fun of my name. And so I told my mom, I was crying. I said, I don't like my name. And she said, well, what do you want us to call you? And I said, Eddie. Because see, there was a show on television at the time called The Munsters, and they had this little guy named Eddie. And ever since then, I've been known as Eddie. It's not even on my driver's license at all. Isn't that funny? It's a nickname. It's something I've been called. Now, in our story, Peter had a nickname, and here it was. Shh. Guys, listen over there. It was called The Rock. The Rock. What's the nickname? The Rock. See, Peter in Greek, the word is Cephas, which means rock. By the way, later on in the Bible, Jesus says, I will build my church on the rock. So here Peter was. Peter, if you remember our story, he followed Jesus when Jesus was being arrested. And 3 times people asked him, do you know Jesus? And what did he say 3 times? No. Remember in our story you heard earlier today? You weren't here, you missed it. 3 times Peter says, no, I don't know him. And after he said it the 3rd time, he even cussed. The Bible says. He used bad language. Because he didn't want them to know that he knew Jesus. And then the rooster crowed. Jesus said, you'll hear the rooster crow when you say 3 times, you don't know me. 3 times. And when the rooster crowed, his heart felt bad. He felt bad. Because his friend, his best friend that he loved, Jesus Christ, he just told everybody he didn't know his friend. how would you feel if you were Jesus Christ and your friend just told everybody, I don't know him. I don't know him. You'd be sad. So Cooper's going to help us learn about how to fix, how Jesus told Peter to fix that heart that was hurting. So Cooper, are you ready? Come on out here. I want to see this costume. Where is he at?
He went that way.
Is he coming?
He left the room.
I think he's going to come in just a second, because here he comes.
I look silly.
Oh, that's perfect, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Why am I supposed to feel bad?
Well, it's not that you feel bad, it's just that it's what you represent. You look fine, you look great. Now, so are you ready?
It looks like a sheep.
Yeah?
Okay. So here's what I need. There's 3 cards in there. I need you to pull out the 3 cards.
These cards?
The 3 cards. Are you ready?
Yes.
Now these 3 cards, on each one of these cards is one word that describes how Peter felt when he turned against his friend Jesus. 3 words. So let's see. What's the first word?
This one says afraid.
Okay, afraid. What do you think Peter was afraid of?
Probably looking silly.
That's right. I think that's right. I think Peter was afraid of looking silly in front of all these people that were asking if he knew Jesus. What's the next word?
Alone. But why would Peter feel alone if Jesus was right there with him?
Yeah, but you know what? When you just turned against your friend, did he feel like he was still a friend with Jesus? No. So he felt alone, like he was by himself. What's the last one?
This card says empty. Empty?
Yeah, empty. Because see, think about this. If you're afraid, or if you're alone, or if you did something you weren't supposed to do, or there's something you were supposed to do and you didn't do it, and you know it and you're thinking about it, you've got this empty thing inside you. You're feeling empty.
Yeah, that stinks. I feel that way sometimes, but how do you fix an empty heart?
Okay, that's what Jesus wanted to see. Here's what's going on. Jesus knew Peter felt empty. Are you listening? Jesus knew Peter felt empty inside. So Jesus is thinking, how can I help him feel better? You want to know how? Here's how he did it. He said, okay, Peter, he said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to feed my sheep.
Feed my sheep?
Yep, that's what he said. Feed my sheep. You get it?
No.
Okay. Well, when he said feed my sheep, now first of all, Jesus often talked about himself, said, I'm the good shepherd. Right. So he was a shepherd. So who are the sheep? Well, we weren't talking about real sheep like here that were out in the field. We are the sheep. People are sheep. You see, in a shepherd, when he walks, the sheep follow, and the shepherd takes care of sheep. In fact, here's what happens. Sometimes they take the sheep and they take them and put them into like a whole bunch of rock area, so it's covered on 3 sides. The sheep are in there, and then the shepherd lays down, because they didn't have a fence or a gate. So the shepherd lays down, and the sheep won't cross over the shepherd. They won't cross over. And so the shepherd's there, and he protects them. A shepherd takes care of his sheep. He loves his sheep. And so he said, feed my sheep. What he wanted to do is he wanted to take care of people. So in just a minute, I want you to feed sheep. I want you to feed some sheep. You got it?
Okay.
Okay? Is there something else in the box that you got?
Yeah, just this, but I wasn't really sure if you needed it.